Morning. Last movie I talked a lot about the flight controls from the outside of the plane. Now let's talk about them from the inside while we are flying, and I will teach you how to fly a plane and how the controls work. Let's go. Okay, let's start it up. Did all the pre-flight checks and the checklist. So here we go. And we got oil pressure. There it is. Good. Recording.
Ljungbyhed, Sigurd Ludvig Z.
Checking the flaps to the takeoff position, making the wing more curved so we can fly slower, which you want to do at takeoff and landing. And we have everything checked on the checklist. After starting, fuel pump off, and the fuel pressure is checked. I'm doing all the checklist here, avionics, so you can hear me, and all the GoPros are recording. Radio, we have nav equipment and transponder. I turn it on immediately. Warm up, I have oil temperature, that's right. Checking the time, 11 o'clock, then we do engine run up later. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you use the controls in the air.
Ljungbyhed, Ludvig Z, taxar in för start 11 höger.
Okay. 2000 RPM, and the plane has got the engine has got two ignition systems. And you have to check that they work independently. I said 2000 RPM here. And I check the left, it runs on the left magneto and both. And the right magneto, the right ignition system, and both work. And then I have to check the propeller. It's like a gearbox on a car, it works. Checking that the gearbox works. You do the takeoff on a high RPM. Everything is set for takeoff. And now I'm going to give thrust, and there will be some side effect from the prop. Turning the air like this, I have to give a little bit right rudder to keep the nose on the center line, and I will pull the stick a bit back, so the nose will get off. Okay, let's go. A little bit right rudder, keeping the nose on the center line, 60 knots on the speed, a little bit stick back, like this, and we have liftoff. It flies like a rocket. Beautiful. Next is 500 feet, and we have to increase the speed a bit, reduce the RPM, and retract the flaps. Here we are. 500 feet. Down with the RPM. A little bit more speed, retracting flaps, and fuel pump off. And reducing thrust. Turning right. For the downwind. When I turn to the right, I have to give a little bit right rudder and put the stick a bit to the right, so we lean to the right. If I do it to the left, the plane lean to the left like this, and to the right again. Use the rudder pedals. It's only the nose that will move to the left and Right, it looks like this. Left rudder, right, left, right. Yeah, it's very uncomfortable flying. So I use both rudder and the stick. And in pitch, if I put the nose forward like this, the stick forward, I mean, the nose goes down. If I take it back, it goes up, like this. So, reducing thrust, and speed checking. First step with the flap. Okay, we are on the downwind, and we have to turn right because the runway is to the right. A little bit less thrust, and turning right. Right rudder, and right aileron. So I'm checking the speed is okay and the runway in the correct position. And landing flaps. Reducing thrust with this, the thrust lever, so I get the correct speed. Down again, here we have it. 80 knots, reduce the speed a bit more because you don't want so much speed when you land. Now I take the high pitch, high RPM on the prop if I need to go around again. Here we are in a position. I adjust the lean with the stick and the rudder pedals too. Okay, now I pull the stick a little bit off like this and we have the correct speed. I hear the stall warning, a little bit more off. Here it is, soft landing. You pull the stick back to get the nose up so it gets a soft landing. It's exactly the same principle as you land an Airbus 350, 330 or whatever. All planes, they work the same. So now you know how to fly a small plane like this. Easy. And now it's roll out, I check the speed, I look out and retract the flaps, turn off the fuel pumps, and we are soon turning off the runway to get into the Aero Club again, Ljungbyhed Aero Club again. Beautiful. It's super simple, if you know how to do it. Now you know how to fly a plane. I think you should take a flying lesson to feel for yourself, but it's really, really nice and absolutely wonderful. It's beautiful too. It's an amazing experience. So now I'm taxiing in slowly and I check the checklist here. A little bit stop here. Yeah, we did it all. Transponder. 1200 RPM and then tap down. Easy, and I turn around the plane so it's easier to push into the hangar. I use the right brake a bit and suitable thrust like this. I press the brakes on the tip of my toes. Parking brakes locked like this. RPM. And now I'm gonna shut off this sound. You won't hear me anymore because the avionics should be off when I'm shutting. So, thank you for joining me on the flight.
Det var det. That was it. I hope you liked it.